outside, we could see a battle of trying to wear down the interior lineup. Then again, Sidwell's got some great shooters.
You don't see a lot of freshmen starting.
Not at this level.
It's really interesting, though. We'll see how he plays. You know, when I first watched the first 2 minutes of last night's game with Sidwell friends and Gonzaga, I thought in the first 2 minutes Gonzaga came out running, gunning, and playing the type of game they do. And I thought that at first I thought that the Quakers would have trouble with that and would be unable to keep up with them. But as the game went on, I mean, I was really impressed with the speed of these guys, and they can do both. They can run, or they can hit the middle and the paint. They block out on the boards. They just do a lot of things right. And if they get the 3-point game going, it's going to be a long night for the Gales.
Charlie Jones controls the tap, but it's taken away by number 3, Josh Hart, for Sidwell Friends. Matt Hillman working outside. They will take the 3. Working the top of the key. Going right to left. It's Sidwell in the white. Mount St. Joseph's in the purple. Cross-court pass deep in the corner. They're dangerous again from outside. Air ball.
I will say that the Gales...
McGloin, who's a reliable shooter, that perhaps that was out of his system now.
The Gales, I mean, they match up pretty well. They've got some respectable size,
yes, they
even
do.
In the front court.
Yeah. That's number 32, Cam Williams. Expect to see him putting the ball up. He's the recruit for Ohio State University. Big Ten player next year. 6'3" guard. He'll be on Hillman. Outside shot. At number 5, Aiden Monheim. Mount St. Joseph quickly moves it up court. 3-point. That's number 10, Kalen Adams, burying the 3, and they're off to a quick 5-0 lead.
I think the Quakers, John, are going to have to figure out how they're going to move the ball to Josh Hart now. The 2 trips down, he hasn't touched it yet.
3-point.
He's their leader. Inside shot by Monheim, doesn't convert. Now St. Joseph's getting the rebound. So far, no putback opportunities for Sidwell. Good drive in the lane by Mount St. Joseph's, off to a 7-0 lead. They can't let it get away from them here. Hillman bringing the ball across. Moving on the right side of the key. Inside to Hart. Hart takes a little mid-range jumper off the back of the iron. Not the most desirable shot. Moving away from the basket. Controlled again by Mount St. Joseph's. It's 1 and out so far. 1 shot and out for Sidwell. No offensive rebounds. Out to the top of the key. Good shot fake. That's number 23, Phil Booth. So, 9-0 run. Not a great start for the Sidwell Friends team. What do they need to do, Dan Mason?
Well, let's keep in mind that it's interesting that Mount St. Joseph, they only beat Bullis by 12 last night.
Right.
And obviously the Quakers have got to get it going. They're going to have to get the ball into Josh.
Yes.
Can you guys hear me up there?
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Hi, yeah, I'm with Steve Turner from Gonzaga. Steve, you've had 5 tough games now, I think, in a week or so, correct? Tell me how your team's looking.
Today, a whole lot better. Certainly a lot better than we did last night. I'm really proud of how we regrouped, played together as a team tonight, really shared the ball, and played tremendous defense.
Good. This tournament really sets you up well for your upcoming season, doesn't it?
Well, our Fathers Club does a heck of a job of bringing in great teams every year and giving us an opportunity to play against great competition to prep ourselves as we go into the WCA season most of the time for January. We got 2 games that we're playing already in the month of December. We've played 1 against Paulus 6, and we got McNamara on the 23rd before we head off to Portland for Christmas. So again, the tournament does a great job of allowing our kids to see great competition and get ourselves prepped for our WCAC season.
Great. Thanks so much for taking time to talk with us.
Thank you, Chris Kelly, and thank you, Steve Turner. Great effort by Gonzaga in basically running away with the game against Bullis, 79-41. That was Josh Hart hitting the three. He's going to have to hit a few more shots for Sidwell. Scrum for the ball there. That was Sidwell Friends, number 11, Philip McGloin, wrestling with a couple of Mount St. Joseph's players. Ball to Sidwell. And we got a 9-3 ball game. Sidwell bringing the ball across. Matt Hillman. Side to Hart. Hart moves. He got that post up foot. Hart's headed to Villanova next year. Big time recruit, 6'5" senior. That's his opposite number, Cam Williams from Mount St. Joseph's. That's Kyle Doran, a 6'6" forward, and he's lining up outside the three-point line and cashing in those threes. 12-5 ball game. Mount St. Joseph's over Sidwell Friends Quakers. Quakers moving the ball. Josh Hart in the high post. Rebound controlled by Mount St. Joseph's. That's Cam Williams. Missed with the left-hander. Battle for the rebound underneath. And that'll be Mount St. Joseph's ball.
Mount St. Joseph really scrapping under the boards right now. They're hitting the boards very hard, playing excellent defense.
For teams named, just Nick's names are Gales and Quakers, there's a lot of hard playing going on.
The Gales, remember something, that a Gale is a Celtic, but a Celtic is not necessarily a Gale.
And Cam Williams just hit a Gale of a shot for three-pointer. And that's 15-5 lead for Mount St. Joseph.
And that's all we'll talk about the Gales tonight.
You promise?
No. They are from Scotland and Ireland. I didn't do all this research for nothing.
That was Mickey Bell, the freshman, trying to muscle it in there. Couldn't get it past Mount St. Joseph with the ball. The Gales, again, from the outside. That's Kyle Duran has hit from outside, and that's a tough threat to combat.
Gentlemen, I'm down here on the sidelines with the Sidwell Friends group with George Marcoux. George, tell me, we got a big crowd here. What's happening?
Well, hopefully we hope to bring in a lot of energy for the team, which we had yesterday against Gonzaga. There was a lot of energy from the players, from the crowd. It was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, so you got a big noisy section here. How you brought the whole group over?
Yeah. So I know we have all these cheers and stuff, and we just try to throw off the other team, get our team some energy, and just keep the momentum going for our team.
Everybody fired. I thought that the school's mascot is the Quakers. How come you're beating up on everybody?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's a little ironic. I don't know, but we try to bring the energy.
You got it all moving along.
Yeah.
All right, good. Thanks so much. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Chris. And great crowd here for Sidwell Friends Quakers tonight. That's Josh Hart, the leader of the Sidwell Friends team, who was driving the lane and got hacked on the way up there, and he's at the line shooting too. 6'5" seniors, headed to Villanova next year, and unquestionably the leader of this team, but he's surrounded by some great ball players who can hit shots. They haven't been getting very many open looks tonight, Dan Mason, and open looks are going to be the key, I think, to Sidwell Friends' success.
Well, the last couple of trips on offense, they have gotten the ball to Josh Hart. They've done a little bit better job of doing that. We'll see what happens the third time down.
One from right out the three-point line off the iron into the corner here for Mount St. Joseph's. Set-up shot. That's a tough one.
I think we'll get another timeout here.
That's Jordan McNeil who's coming to the game, who just cashed in the three-pointer for the Gales. And that makes it a 20-5 lead.
Only got a minute 44. And
so Sidwell's coach Eric Singletary has got to find his way to stop stop this attack from Mount St. Joseph's, because this game could get out of hand. They're scoring at about a 90-point-a-game clip right now. Mount St. Joseph's is a 20-5 lead with 1:44 left to go in the first quarter.
We don't have the stat on this, but I would think that the Gales have got to be shooting almost 50, 55%, somewhere right there.
Haven't missed a lot. I'd say 60%, and a lot of them from long range.
It's almost the same duplicate game as last night, except the roles are a bit reversed.
Sidwell was hot last night.
Right.
Well, so much of this game is about who has the hot hand, and the hot hand can shift quarter to quarter, minute to minute. You just don't know how it's going to flow. What Sidwell needs is a hot hand right now to come back against this lanky and quick Mount St. Joseph's Gales team from Baltimore.
McGloin and Hillman, both their guards, point and shooting guards, they haven't hit yet, and they hit everything that they threw up there last night. So I think for the Sidwell Friends to get back into the game, they're going to have to score.
McGloin bringing the ball across the midcourt line. He's working to Josh Hart out on the top of the key. Hart goes up for the three-pointer and hits it. That will bring the defense out. You start hitting those shots. That's a two-pointer. Foot was just inside the line. 20-7 lead.
Same thing with Gonzaga last night.
Didn't get the break that time with the made basket. Now the maneuver. Let's see how they do in the half-court offense. That was Phil Booth driving the lane. He had a good look and just missed it. Takeaway by the Gales. That's Williams got his shot blocked by Hart. Hart, the outlet pass to the freshman Mickey Bell, I'm sorry. And that shot was blocked. Bell was out there for the outlet pass and looked like he could get to the hoop, but he got it blocked at the very end.
Now the tempo is really starting to increase now. So this is going to be kind of interesting to see how both react to this up-tempo game.
Quakers ball.
What happened last night, John, when Sidwell Friends could hit those shots from the perimeter, they began to drive the middle through the paint. So they had the game going on both ways.
Hart's being shadowed by Charlie Jones, the 6'4" senior. He's got the ball right. Jones is quick and lanky, 6'4", just lost his handle on the ball. Quakers with the breakaway, didn't get it, they turned over the ball. A little sloppy play here and then a foul. That'll be on number 11 for Sidwell, Philip McGloin. That's his first personal. No one in foul trouble yet on either side.
Xander Ware off the bench now. That's the 6'10" junior.
Ware's the tallest man on the floor for both teams. And he comes off the bench for the Gales. A junior who is already being recruited. This is Booth bringing the ball across the line, guarded by Hart. Good defense by both teams. That's Charlie Jones, drives baseline, the left-hander. He keeps it out to Ware. Nice runner in the lane by Phil Booth. And that comes just a few seconds before the buzzer, and it's
nice give and go to end the quarter that way.
22-7.
20-7, and we'll head into the second quarter. It's going to have to be some adjustments by Sidwell Friends to be able to climb back into it. I really do think they can if they can get those point guards to score. That's been the biggest difference tonight versus last night with this team.
And Sidwell hasn't been hitting its shot. It hasn't been getting any second chance points with Mount St. Joseph's clearing the boards pretty well, getting out on the break.
I'll give you an example. Like the first game that Sidwell Friends played here, Hart and McGloin combined for almost 50 points between the two. Second night, Hart and Hillman combined for 50 points. So you can see that the firepower is not there right now. I mean, I think Josh Hart is playing his normal game. He's probably got all 7 of their points, as a matter of fact.
And if they hit those shots, that'll be made baskets. That'll be tougher for Mount St. Joseph's to get out on the break like they've been doing and use their speed and athleticism to get those easy layups.
That's what has to happen. If they can't hit from the perimeter, it's going to make it tough to do that and to play that kind of game that they like to play, and they were so effective last night against the Eagles.
So look for the Quakers to try and get better shots and make more of them.
Gentlemen,
obviously.
Gentlemen?
Chris Kelly, yes.
Yeah, I'm here with Sister Seton Canine. We're talking a little bit about great basketball, supporting good works. Your thoughts on the tournament and how it benefits the social projects at Gonzaga?
This is my 18th year at Gonzaga, and when I came, I was so impressed that the DC Classic existed with so many fathers and mothers throughout the years helping. I can't believe it's now 24 years old. And I want to be especially thankful for the hard work that everyone does to make great basketball happen, but also to make a contribution to our wonderful service program. As you might know, Chris, that during the summer we have several trips domestically as well as 2 internationally. We go 2 separate weeks out to Red Cloud, the Jesuit school on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation out in South Dakota. We go to the Romero Center in Camden, New Jersey. And then after Katrina, we've been going down to New Orleans to work with the St. Bernard's Project. That, interestingly enough, the husband and wife that founded that outreach, the wife went to visitation, so it's a nice bond there. And then we have 2 domestic programs. One's to the Dominican Republic, and then one is to Ecuador, a Jesuit school in Ecuador. So we feel very privileged that we're able to introduce our students to situations that are very different from a lot of their home situations in terms of getting an idea what it's like to be in poverty, and so really it's for our students to see how much we take for granted.
Thank you very much for taking time to talk with us today. We're really glad to be helping out. Thanks, Sister.
Thank you,
Back
Chris.
to you
Thank
guys.
you, Sister Seton. 24-7 the score here. Sounds like a football game. It's Mount St. Joseph's Gales over the Sidwell Friends Quakers. Quakers with the ball. Josh Hart passes over to the corner. That's the long-range shot that they needed. Philip McGloin starting maybe to light it up. Hits a 3.
And that was the first point by any Quaker other than Josh Hart.
Notable. Gales moving the ball out of the top of the key. A little bit of lost the handle on it. Very aggressive defense by the Quakers. That's Williams with the ball. Shoots it across court, but it's tipped. Long arm of number 5, Aiden Monheim, interfered with that cross-court pass. A good idea, but Monheim got in the way. Hart driving the lane, very aggressive, gets fouled. And if he can get a couple of those players in foul trouble, that's good, but Mount St. Joseph's appears to be deep enough, perhaps, to handle that.
Well, the Quakers certainly love to play that style of basketball. They like to run the court and the high intensity, just like Gonzaga on both ends of the floor. Josh Hart at the line. He'll shoot 2.
Nothing but net on that was a pretty shot. You can see why he's valued at Villanova for next year and will be a prominent Big East player when he gets to Philadelphia. Second shot here, 24-11 ball game. He has a chance to bring it within 12. And he does. Gales are bringing it up. Number 10, Kalen Adams. Kalen Adams. That's Williams with a fall away. A difficult shot, and it bounces around the rim. It fails to drop. Length of the floor, pretty left-handed layup by Philip McGloin. McGloin starting to come alive here.
Now, you notice how the Quakers love to spread the floor, too. They'll take the entire floor to play the game.
Mm-hmm. Very good coaching to get that kind of spacing. Working the ball around the perimeter. Ware set a screen, and Gales, that was a little bit maybe a moving screen, according to the man in the striped shirt, so that'll be Quakers ball. Game starting to tighten up here at 24-14, Dan.
Yes, sir. 5:17 now left in the half.
Gentlemen, I'm down behind the basket here with Chris Newcomer, who's taking photographs here for the DC Classic. Chris, what are you up to?
Well, every year we, Gary and Barbara Glover and I, and we're joined by Pat, Pat this year. And we take pictures every year, and we have them up in real time so the kids can see them. And we also get them up over the website overnight. And so people can go and see the pictures, and if they want to buy some pictures, then the profits go right to the tournament.
I know the players really love to see the pictures up there too when they walk past.
It's surprising, no matter how big they get, no matter how old they get, they they always seem to brighten up when they see the pictures.
And Chris has the best seat in the house here, right on the floor underneath the basket. Back to you guys.
That was Josh Hart on the follow-up, and a couple of aggressive moves there. That was Aiden Monheim shooting twice. They got the rebound twice, put it back up. That second and third chance buckets is something we haven't seen much before tonight. The Quakers aggressive on the boards. They pulled it with 8 points now. This game is tightened up.
I think
that's going to be on Aiden Monheim away from the ball. It'll be a non-shooting foul.
Philip McGloin is on the bench now. I believe that the Quakers realize this is going to be a very up-tempo, non-stop game. So
the Gales have shown a propensity to run. That's Cam Williams going up for the shot. He got blocked or lost the handle. He passes it off. Going to the outside now. That's Booth. Into the corner. The shot's not quite good. That was Jalen Adams, who's a great outside shooter, but he fails to connect Josh Hart down low. And now you're looking at a 6-point lead, and this thing has tightened up. Interesting to see if the Gales take a timeout. That's Coach Pat Clatchy in the corner, in and out. Those shots that were falling for the Gales have started to not fall. Phil Booth.
You see, John, how they spread the floor. They use every inch of that floor out there for their offense patterns. It's impressive.
Interesting also to see how the Quakers have started to get some offensive rebounds that they weren't getting before. So the complexion of this game has changed. 3:15 to go in the second quarter. Steal by the Quakers, left-handed layup by number 23, Matt Hillman, the senior guard, and now we have a 4-point ball game, and the Sidwell Friends students are rocking over there.
That's the formula. Hillman, McGloin, plus Josh Hart.
Well, this is a pretty resilient Sidwell Friends team. It was rocked pretty early. It was 20-5 lead by Mount St. Joseph. Since then, it's been a 15-4 run by the Sidwell Friends Quakers, led by Josh Hart with Philip McGloin, Aiden Monheim, and Matt Hillman, all registering important rebounds, passes, and points.
Mount St. Joseph really came out swinging. I mean, they were up and down the floor, and they used a lot of their height and their, they got some big guys over there that can control the boards.
They were hitting their long-range shots, but they've gone a little bit cool, not because they're missing by a lot. These shots are rimming in and out. So just a little bit of a tweak on those shots, and they could be back in the driver's seat. So
Cam
interesting
Williams.
game. It looks like it's going to be tight up and down.
You got to like Cam Williams. He's played a really good game. He's an impressive young man.
He is. He's got a lot of energy. 6'3" guard / forward, and he's very active on both ends of the floor. All right, timeout. It'll be the Mount St. Joseph Gales ball, bringing up number 10, Jalen Adams.
The Quakers have both McGloin and Hillman back now. Both guards are there with in the lineup.
Kyle Durand swinging around, back to Adams. Adams moves to his left, and he's fouled coming into the paint. So the junior guard, Adams, moving to the line, shooting 2. No Gales underneath for the rebound. Interesting decision by the coach. He's got everybody back on defense. Maybe it's because he's money at the line. Oh, no, not that time. Josh Hart commandeers the rebound, although he had no opposition. I might have even gotten that rebound. I don't know. I might have fallen down, too. All right. Quakers ball, top of the key. Down by 5. McGloin fakes the shot. Takes the pass, now decides to take the shot, a 3-pointer off the front of the iron. Collected by Adams, brings it back for the Gales. Top of the key, Booth. Booth and Adams seem to control the ball out there. Now trying to get in the hands of Williams, but he's shadowed by Matt Hillman, guarding the Big Ten recruit. Back to Booth. Booth takes the three off the back of the iron, and that'll be off the back of the score clock, and out of the back of the shot clock, so that'll go back to the Quakers now. McGloin bringing the ball up with his backcourt mate, Alex Gamble, now in the game. Now it's to Hart. Look for him to drive. He's a slasher. Oh, he passes over the left. Sets a pick. Charlie Jones has been guarding Josh Hart primarily, and he's showing a lot of energy. That was Matt Hillman. He and McGloin and Hart started to heat up, and we have a 25-22 ball game.
Very three good, solid scorers, all three of those guys.
Freshman Mickey Bell checking in for Sidwell at the next break in the action. Sidwell moving the ball up. There's Hart driving. He gets fouled as he goes to the basket. Not a good foul. It's a little touch as he went on by. He had that basket. It's a little late and a little light.
It's hard to do that consistently if you aren't hitting threes like that. So they have to, the Gales have to protect the three-point perimeter, and then, they get a guy like Hart that slashes to the middle, and this is the formula from last night.
If Hart makes this free throw, we will have a tie ball game.
Less than a minute.
And he does, and we've had a 20-5 run matched by a 20-5 run, and we're now knotted at 25 with 53 seconds left to go in the first half. Adams in the half-court offense. Good ball handler. This pass. Hart's going to drive. He had Williams on him. Williams decided not to foul, and that puts the Quakers into the lead. Long lead pass. Doesn't have enough numbers down there, so he didn't go over. That's Charlie Jones out at the top. Gets a good look over in the corner. Off the back of the iron. Hart, the 6'5" guard, gets the rebound, and the Quakers will be able to play for the last shot in the quarter with a 2-point lead.
Gales could have used a bucket on this end of the floor really bad.
The Gales
haven't been several minutes since Mount St. Joseph scored.
They have not been as good in the half-court offense as they are in the fast break. And Josh Hart gets his own rebound after a nice drive, and just before the buzzer, puts it away for a 29-25 lead. That's a 24-5 run by the Sidwell Friends Quakers, and they kind of set the Mount St. Joseph Gales back on their heels after the Gales edition. It's the Gales of Mount St. Joseph's in Baltimore against the Sidwell Friends Quakers of Washington, D.C., coached by Eric Singletary. Mount St. Joseph's coached by head coach Pat Clatchy. The score at halftime, Sidwell 29, Mount St. Joseph 25. Dan Mason is my broadcast partner. I'm John Ford. Dan, what happened in the first half?
Well, it's exactly like we called it, John. You saw Josh Hart, Philip McGloin, and Matt Hillman, 29 points between the three of those guys.
And Josh Hart with 20 of those 29 points.
It is interesting that the Gales got out such a fast start, and let's hope that they can regroup and stay in the game here, make a great game of this, because the two hard scrapping teams are fighting away, and it's a really good brand of basketball for the Gonzaga Classic. Really good.
And the Gales with a more balanced attack have Kyle Duran with 5 points, Cam Williams 7, Phil Booth with 6, and Jalen Adams at 4 points. Josh Hart, the scoring leader with 20 points, 6'5" guard, headed to Villanova next year. He brings the ball up, and he's being guarded by number 23, Phil Booth. So apparently, Phil Booth has been assigned to be all over Josh Hart. Let's see how that battle goes. McGloin with a bucket. To start off the second half, he puts the Quakers ahead by 6 points. Booth at the top of the key, guarded by Hart. Inside, there's Charlie Jones for the easy, about 8-foot bucket. That was an easy shot.
And it took took some pressure off the Gales too, because that's the first basket in quite some time.
Yep. At the end of the first half, the Quakers went on a 24-5 run to come back from a 20-5 deficit and go up by 4 points in this game. That's Mickey Bell out at the top of the key. He's off to Hart. Hart moving inside. He's up against 3 guys. Passes it off. Fails to connect. Little scrum out there in midcourt. Quakers come up with the ball. Back out at the top of the key. That's over to Hart. He's going to slash inside. He likes to get to the hoop. He doesn't spot up for that three-pointer very often, Dan Mason. He's been moving to the hoop and been getting fouled or getting buckets. Mount St. Joseph led by Cam Williams, number 32, who's headed to Ohio State University next year. This is a matchup. We got a lot of good quality players on both teams. Hart into the lane again, and is fouled again.
We're going to see that more often now because he's going to start to drive the lane. Not as much he didn't do that as much in the first part of the first half. He began to do it in the second part of the first half, but we're going to see it more now.
Hart's been money from the line so far. He converts on the first one. He's got another one coming.
32-27. Sidwell up by 5, and there's 6:27 left.
He's got a pretty shot. It just kind of nestles there in the bucket. A lot of arc on it. Okay, Mount St. Joseph bringing the ball up. The team from Baltimore, Maryland. That's number 10, Jalen Adams, a floor leader for the team. Now Adams over in the corner. He clangs it off the front of the iron. Not that close a shot. And now Hart off on the break with the left-handed layup, and it's an 8-point lead for Sidwell.
The Quakers seem to
bringing the ball up.
The Quakers seem to be everywhere, all over the floor right now.
That was a pretty bucket. Drive the lane and dish to Kyle Doran, who converts the easy layup. If they can keep running that kind of play, they can get this game back into balance. The Gales are going to have to be patient, move that ball inside, and try and go for some of those easy buckets. They've had 2 this half already. Hart. On the right side. That's McGloin. And the little block there on the ball caused him to travel. So he gives up the ball. It'll be the Gales' ball. Jalen Adams bringing it across. He's the floor leader. He's going to be looking. He's got Kyle Doran underneath the basket. Charlie Jones and Cam Williams. Cam Williams, he muscled it inside, put up a shot that is not a high percentage shot, but he got the foul. He'll be going to the line shooting too. Cam Williams, number 32.
Gales haven't been to the line that much tonight. Not like the Quakers have.
The Quakers have been able to play defense without committing that many fouls. Williams converts the first of 2, making it a 5-point game. He has a chance to make it a 2-possession game with this one. Four-point ball game. So tightening up. Full court pressure now by the Gales. Inside, an errant pass. It was a good look. Good look. Gales bringing the ball across the line now. That'll be Phil Booth at the top of the game, 6'4" guard forward. That's Charlie Jones, also 6'4". Booth going up for the shot. A nice little 8-foot shot just inside the foul line. That's another good look. They've had some quality looks, and they've tightened the game up to 2 points.
Slow the game down a little bit, too. They've done that in the last 2 possessions.
After shooting a couple three-pointers, they've foregone those long shots and have gone to more the inside shot and the mid-range jumpers, and they're succeeding with that. Let's see if they continue that kind of disciplined game. Rebound by Hart. He puts it back up. A lot of traffic inside. Hart with the ball. He's going to go back one more time, and he puts it in. 2 rebounds for Hart. And he is fighting hard in there. The 6'5" guard.
Just muscles his way right through the paint there for that.
Yep. It's a tough battle down there in the paint. Adams on the left side. He's looking. There's Cam Williams with the long-range jumper off the back of the iron. The Gales not showing the patience they did earlier. I wonder if their coach is not going to say, hey, let's be a little more patient, try and move it inside for those good looks. Quakers bringing the ball. This is Hart bringing the ball across the line. Got Monheim out there in the high post. Hart coming back. He's going to drive. Again, he draws a crowd. You get a nice dish to Mickey Bell, who just missed the bank shot. That's Williams outside. There's Adams for the long-range shot and makes it. This is a shot they were hitting in the first half. Made a lot of three-pointers in the first quarter, not so many in the second quarter.
That's the kind of shot that'll get them back in the game.
And they put it back to, and speaking of back in the game, it's a 1-point ball game. Sidwell 37, Mount St. Joseph 36. Tightening up. Monheim out the top of the key. He's high post. Out by the three-point line, high post. Inside to Josh Hart, who has taken a down-low post position a lot of these plays. When he's not slashing, he's posting down low. And he's causing foul problems for the Gales. He's a lot to handle down there. He's going to go to the line now.
Didn't see them miss many of those. That's the first one I think he's missed tonight. We're down to 2:48 now in the third quarter.
And this game is tightened up. Hart has a chance to put him up by 2. Second half. And he drains it. 38-36, Sidwell. Adams bringing the ball up. Moving right to left on your screen in the purple. Guarded closely. That's Seifu. That's Charlie Jones launching the shot, and he gets hit after the shot, and it looks like he'll be going to the line. Shoot 2. Charlie Jones, 6'4" senior guard for the Gales.
He was probably about 1 foot away from the perimeter line. It could have been
could have been a 3. And that's the game at 38. It's the first time we've had since the middle of the second quarter. Quakers bringing the ball across. That's Matt Seifu. Hillman. Over to McGloin. And they're going to call that a travel as McGloin sets up for the shot. He might have dragged a foot. Well, that'll be the Gales' ball.
That was a good call on the part of the referee. He spotted that one. Not that hard to pick up.
Mount St. Joseph with a chance to take the lead. Phil Booth works it across the right to Jones. Jones back to Duran. Got to get the ball to Cam Williams every now and then. He's the top player. Crowd wanted a travel, didn't get it, but now it's the break. Josh Hart going up, and he gets blocked. That was Booth on the block. Nice recovery on that. Josh Hart coming back. Josh Hart is a fighter. He goes, misses the shot again, and that's Booth coming up with it from the Gales. Williams over in the corner, back out. Jones. Wow.
Boy, intense play right there.
It is intense play. It's rough out there. That's Duran. Back to Williams. And Williams gets called for a travel. This pressure defense is leading to turnovers for both teams. It's not that these guys are turnover prone, it's the defense is leading to it.
It seems like the Quakers are at their best when they can play that type defense too.
Yeah, this is an intense game. Both teams playing with some defensive intensity. I'd say the Quakers bring in a little bit more of it. in the last couple of minutes. Quaker ball. This is a substitute, Matt Seifu, who's in. He's working and getting inside, and he's going to kind of come back underneath. That was a tough shot. Good rebound, though, by Derek Levinson, who pulls down the rebound. Quakers call for a timeout. Eric Singletary wants to chat things over.
I think Coach Singletary's talking about shot selection right now. The last two shots, not very good shots at all.
And both teams, no doubt, need a little bit of a breather because it's been intense on both ends of the floor.
Only 56 seconds left now in the third quarter, so.
Haven't been very many timeouts or play stoppages in this third
All
quarter.
even at 38, so how do you see the fourth quarter, John?
Well, I wish I could see.
We're at
see what's going to happen.
We're at a disadvantage here. We're at a little slight angle where it makes it difficult.
I'll tell you what
to
I'd like to see Mount St. Joseph work it inside a little more. I think they do have an advantage. And draw Hart out a little bit so he can't play that much defense down inside the paint, and see if they can work it inside to some of their bigs. For the Quakers, they're showing good ball movement, and their shot selection hasn't been as good as it was before. I'd like to see them improve their shot selection. All right, ball's back in play. Quaker ball inside. Now that's good shot selection. They had McGloin open under the basket. It was a very good look by Seifu. Seifu got it to him, went up, got fouled. So that's Phil McGloin going to the line, shooting 2. And this Charles E. Smith Center has fallen silent as we're waiting for Phil McGloin to shoot a couple of free throws. It looks like he might have some blood on his hand.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a cut. So the referee says he needs to get that taken care of before play can resume.
Well, we've got 55 seconds left down the third quarter, and I would think when we come out in the fourth quarter, you're going to see the Quakers at warp speed. This is where they're going to have to put it through. Maybe they wait a minute or two, but I think they'll gear up that high-pressure defense, and the tempo will increase dramatically. And you'll have to see how the Gales react to that. Your point earlier, they shouldn't react to that. They should stay into their...
They should play their game.
And play their game, that's right.
They were successful running early on in the game and not as successful when they got into their half-court offense, but we've seen glimpses of that. Now, McGloin was number 11. He's going to come back in as number 25, so this is not a brand-new player. This is Phil McGloin donning a new jersey. Josh Hart was sent to the line to substitute for him on the free throws, and I think that was a good choice. He made the first one of 2. Now 39-38 lead for Sidwell. Make that 40-38. Charlie Jones the inbound for the Gales. Phil Booth bringing it up. Jordan McNeil in the game for Mount St. Joseph. He's a 6'5" guard, number 15.
That's the first time we've seen him tonight.
Jones on a nice drive to the bucket, beats his man and gets there for the layup, and we're back to tie game at 40.
28 seconds now.
28 seconds. They can run this clock down.
Yeah, the Quakers will play for the last shot here.
Hard at the top of the key. It is left hand. Seems to use both hands very effectively. Notice the spread.
I wonder who will take the last shot.
I would say that would be, you're looking at, oh, that's Hillman from deep. Off the iron. Rebound underneath by Bell. He doesn't make it go. Gales corral the defensive rebound, and we're tied. We're back to where we started. At the end of 3 quarters of play, it's a 0-0 ball game, except it's 40-40.
Well, that down here at this end of the floor, that last shot, boy, that was really that's a close call. That could have been a foul, and that Mickey Bell could have gone to the line on. So referees are letting both teams play. I mean, it's really an intense game.
They are letting them play, and it's good to see because this is some high quality basketball. There's been some turnovers, but as we mentioned earlier, a lot of them are caused by that defensive intensity. You don't have a moment to stop and think about what you're going to do with the ball.
Well, from our vantage point here, we're situated over the basket, over the Sidwell Friends end of the basket, and we can see that every time Josh Hart drives the paint, you've got you got 2 or 3 Gales collapsing on him, and it's some hard slaps under there right now.
Yeah, and so far he's get sent to the foul line a lot or making the shot. They're going to be open looks for other Quakers as he draws that collection of defenders every time he goes to the hoop, and I imagine he's pretty skilled at finding those open players and hitting them with the ball when he drives and gets covered.
So we're tied at 40, and we've got 8 minutes of basketball left in this year's tournament.
Now, remember the first quarter, Mount St. Joseph's had 22 points in the first quarter. They were headed to an 88-point game. Now they're at a 50-point pace, roughly. So that's how much the game has slowed down on the scoring column for Mount St. Joseph's Gales. They came out on fire. Mount St. Joseph's ball going right to left in the purple. That's the lead ball handler, Jalen Adams, 5'11" junior guard. They've got this. They're posting up Jones down low. Cameron Williams on the left side. Long shot by Adams, rims out. Josh Hart commandeers the rebound. He's going to drive that lane. I'd almost count on it. Swinging it around, Hillman. He's a good shooter. Inside to Hart. Hart backing down. Charlie Jones. Tough look. Almost makes it go, not quite, and then he gets the rebound. Loose ball. Couple substitutes in there. Derek Levinson in for the Quakers. Number 20. Oh, that was a tough foul.
That was a pretty hard foul right there.
That was a hard foul. I think you could say he was going for the ball. Remember, that's Phil McGloin, not anybody else. He's just wearing number 25 now. He's number 11, had to change jerseys because of some blood. That's only a second foul for McGloin, so no trouble.
The Quakers aren't getting any calls on this end of the floor right now. I would imagine that Josh Hart's a little bit upset that he's not getting any calls because he gets banged around pretty good when he hits the paint.
Yep. That's Jordan McNeil hitting the free throw for the Gales, and he puts them up 41-40. First lead they've had since the first half. Second one coming right now, and that's in. 2-point lead for the Gales. Josh Hart to inbounds. To McGloin bringing it up. Let's see what happens this time. Do they go to Hart and have him drive the lane, or do they spot up somebody outside? McGloin going down to set a screen. Hart, there's Hillman. Long range three, good box out by Charlie Jones, and Josh Hart tried to go over his back and didn't pull that off.
He's got 3 now.
That's first foul for Josh Hart. Amazing. And this is Booth bringing the ball over. He's been bringing the ball over last few possessions. Moving inside on Hart. Hart he drives on Hart. Booth wanted a foul on the body. That was a clean ball block by Hart. Don't know about the body. That'll be Gale's ball underneath the basket. Out to Adams. That'll be another foul. So 2 quick fouls on Josh Hart, but we've got 6:23 to go in the game. He's a long way from foul trouble. Gale's ball. Williams flashes by. Ball doesn't go to him. Interception by Levinson. He's going to drive, pass it off to Hart. Hart off the front of the rim. There's a little bit of a travel there. He got away with it. Again, that defensive intensity causing people's feet to move. But it'll be Mount St. Joseph ball. It's 6:14 to go, and they're up by 2. Into Cam Williams. Backcourt pressure by Hillman. Hillman with that beard looks like a Quaker.
You know, I wasn't going to say that. I was thinking.
I mean, he's got a beard and apparently no mustache, and he looks like he might be a Quaker. Could be point guard and team mascot at the same time. Quakers the ball out the top of the key. That's McGloin. Over to Hillman. They got another push foul. Let's hear who it is. That's a third. That's a third Josh Hart foul in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Of play. 3 quick ones. He plays the whole game very aggressively with nothing, and then here in the fourth quarter gets 3 fouls in about 2 minutes. All right. Gales ball. They're setting up at the top. That's Charlie Jones, number 20. Jones passing it off to Cam Williams. Williams for the jump shot. A little bit of a fall away, but he nailed it. That's a tough shot to hit. And he elevates and gets a 4-point lead, a little bit of space for the Gales.
You know, if Cam Williams can heat up, that could really be a
He has
big
been a little bit quiet,
Gales.
but maybe not so much. Hard underneath, but he's immediately surrounded by 3 players. And that's a rebound by Levinson. He puts it in. Derek Levinson, the 6'2" senior, with a timely rebound and putback, and he's now going to the line with a chance to bring it to within 1 point.
That's the first call that we've seen the
Durant
get down there.
Yep, Durant coming in for McNeil. Durant started the game, number 33, hit a couple of threes early on, but has been relatively quiet since the first half. Here's Levinson trying to convert that into a 3-point play, and he does. And we now have a 1-point game. Dan Mason, what should Mount St. Joseph do sitting on a 1-point lead?
They're doing a great job to stay in within themselves here. They look good. They've slowed the game down. They're getting better shots. Get the ball to Cam Williams.
Williams passes it out. No shot. That's Booth. Good pass inside to Durant. Can't convert. Goes up.
Oh, boy.
And another foul on Josh Hart. Let's see.
Yeah, that could be 4. No, I think they're going to call this one.
That's a fortunate turn of the referee whistled there to not have that called on Hart, because really could have gone either way. Instead, it gets number 10, Matt Seyfu. Anyway, that's Durant at the line hitting the first of 2 free throws. Durant's a 6'6" junior. Here comes the second free throw. Cashes it in. 3-point lead for the Gales. This is Seyfu bringing it up. Hart's going to take the handle because he comes across the midpoint line. Down low is Levinson. Down in the post, he's going to come out and set a high pick. Nothing doing there. Charlie Jones on Hart. And Hart will be doubled as he gets into the paint and gets his own rebound. That's got to be driving the Mount St. Joseph's coach just a little bit crazy how often Josh Hart is able to put the ball up and miss the shot and get his own rebound.
He usually shoots. He gets 2, 3, sometimes 4.
Yeah.
Down there.
A
lot of shots.
Somewhere over on the Gales bench, somebody's saying, put a body on that guy. Put a body on that guy. And I think that's probably what they're talking about, at least part of what they're talking about right now. Let's give you a quick game reset. It's the championship game of the Gonzaga DC Classic between the Mount St. Joseph Gales from Baltimore and the Sidwell Friends Quakers of Washington, D.C. 46-45 lead for Mount St. Joseph, and this game has been going back and forth, and now it's practically knotted up.
It's a lot of momentum swings here that really makes it fun to watch. I don't think we've seen the last of it yet. I mean, we may see a couple of more before this game's over. Halfway through the fourth period now. Got to thank all of these great sponsors that have sponsored our tournament here. You know, they've so many pages of our program here. There's wonderful businesses here in the area that have ties to Gonzaga High School, so couldn't do it without you.
Absolutely. It's a great program, and reminder that all of the proceeds from the tournament benefit people who are homeless and in need, not only in the D.C. area, but also out in Red Cloud, South Reservation, South Dakota, and other places where Gonzaga young men do charitable works. All right, Mount St. Joseph with the ball. Full court pressure by Sidwell Friends, and there's an off-the-ball foul by number 25, Phil McGloin. That's his third.
I think
Coach is saying
puts the Gales in the 1-and-1 bonus now.
Yep, and Coach Eric Singletary is saying, I didn't want you to foul. I know I told you to be aggressive. I didn't want to foul there because that's too easy. It takes nothing off the clock. Good free throw by Jalen Adams. He's a point guard who doesn't seem to lose his composure. The Gales hits the second of 2 free throws. And there you have it, a 3-point lead. Not what they wanted. But referee's having a chat. He's eyeing the scoreboard clock or the shot clock. Not sure what this is about. He seems to have gotten what he wanted, though. The Quakers will bring the ball back in. Not Seifu bringing the ball up. Josh Hart, familiar face, top of the key. Working the ball over to the left-hand side. Now driving. Good defense by Jones, who stumbles at the end, though, but good defense. Josh Hart just converted. That was a great play.
Great possession on Sidwell Friend's part.
This is Adams with the ball, over to Jones. Back to Booth, over to Adams. Where is Williams? It should be looking for him. Matt Hillman's guarding. That's not a good matchup for the Quakers. That's going to be a charge. They're going to call that a charge on Adams. Six-team fouls, so one more, and the Quakers are in the bonus. They've got some pretty good free throw shooters.
McGloin's hurting his right elbow, is holding it. I think he's trying to signal.
Oh, that's trouble.
That's a problem.
Seifu's come into the second half. Monheim working inside. He's going to be the post man. Josh Hart going to be inside. Doesn't. That's Hillman with the shot. He's been hitting his shots in the second half. Lead goes over to Sidwell Friends. Back in the lead at 49-48 over Mount St. Joseph Scales. That's Jones working at the top of the key. Let's see if they take the long shot or try to move it inside. Good spot up jumper by Booth, and that brings the lead back to Mount St. Joseph. Quakers bringing the ball across. They'll put it in the hands of Josh Hart. 2:53, under 3 minutes to go. 1 point lead for the Gales. Quakers with the ball. Hillman off the screen and off the iron. Rebound by Booth. Adams across the line. Back to Booth. Booth, a long-range three, and he makes it. And a little gesture there at the end for Phil Booth, who knocks down, it's close to an NBA three.
He was saluting someone in the bleachers. I don't know who that
Gales
was.
53, Quakers 49. A little bit of running room, not much. Hart in the paint. He's double teamed. He goes up over Jones and makes it with the right hand. Quakers call a timeout. It's Eric Singletary.
Around that basket, Josh Hart is so versatile. He can just squirm his way around there really nicely.
He's got to have close to 30 points.
53-51, Gales lead over the Quakers. 2:12 left.
Well, this has been a game of momentum. And I'd say the momentum was swinging Mount St. Joseph's way, and it just went back to the Quakers with Josh Hart's spin move. It was well guarded in the paint, and he just persevered to get that ball in the basket.
The last 2 minutes are really going to be intense.
Yeah. It's been, just like the first 30. It's been an intense game. There hasn't been a whole lot of let-up time. Well, if you're Mount St. Joseph and you have the ball, Dan, what do you want to do coming up with a two-point lead?
I'm going to get it to my best shooter on the team. I'm getting it to Cam Williams. Got to get it in his hands because I think he can do the most with it.
Well, maybe they'll design a play to spring him loose. He has been a bit quiet tonight. Steady, but not spectacular.
I think, too, John, that also it would be good to let some of the clock run down here.
Yeah.
They've got a 2-point lead.
Yeah, they might eat up some clock here. All right, that's Adams bringing the ball across. Hart out at the top And it looks like the Quakers are in a zone. Yep, Quakers have gone zone coming out of the timeout. That's Williams. So Mount St. Joseph has to make a quick adjustment to this zone. And that's got them a little bit out. It got the Gales a little bit out of sync. That's Booth. Passing it out to Duran. Whoa! He had a ball fake there and got Josh Hart in the air. And that's 4 fouls on Josh Hart with 1:38 to go. One more and he's out of here, and that's trouble for the Quakers. All right, Gales with a 2-point lead, and Duran going to the line.
Duran had a nice head fake right there.
That was a good head fake. And Hart had to come out on him because Duran is 6'6". He can launch that shot free from there, and he can hit it. So, but a little bit too aggressive. Josh Hart did not need a foul out beyond the 3-point line. Particularly not his fourth. I don't understand why Mount St. Joseph doesn't have men in there for the offensive rebound, but they don't. It's a 2-shot foul, and then, well, without the shooter, got the shot. No body on him, and it was a long rebound. Big break for Mount St. Joseph. 3-point lead. Jones with the ball. 1:24 to go on the clock. That's Duran. Back to Booth.
Boy, that's close right there. Hart was reaching in.
Hart was reaching in. He's been very aggressive on defense, playing now with 4 fouls.
He got by with it, but that's really a dangerous defensive play to make right there, especially when you've got 4 fouls.
Number 24, Grant Reynolds coming in for the Quakers. Who promptly steals the ball and then loses the handle on it. Great play. Referees conferring. No call. All right. 1:12 to go. Mount St. Joseph with a 3-point lead and the ball. Gales inbounding. Full court pressure from the Quakers. They're going to let them bring it up. And if I'm Mount St. Joseph, I'm going to run off some clock. Timeout called by Pat Clatchy. Pat Clatchy calls for a timeout. I think he's setting up what they're going to do in this possession with 24 seconds left on the shot clock. Dan, what do you do?
I think
Pat Clatchy.
Sidwell Friends is going to foul him to stop the clock. We'll see that probably, that's for sure. Because, Sidwell Friends, and both teams really, especially Sidwell Friends, they got, Hillman McCoy and Josh Hart. They can all shoot the 3-pointer. So, they're down 3.
Yep.
And
it's a 1-possession game. If they send him to the line, there is no obvious person to send there. We haven't seen that many misses.
No, they're all.
The
Gales are pretty much even free throw shooters. They are all about the same. All of them are very good.
So if you also want to go against whoever's guarding, whoever is being guarded by Josh Hart, because Hart's playing with 4 fouls. Now, he's a great defender. He's 6'5", and he's got some hops, but he's got to be a little bit conservative playing with 4 fouls. So you might see somebody go at him coming out of this timeout. Again, their game reset. It's 54-51 lead for the Gales of Mount St. Joseph over the Sidwell Friends Quakers in this championship game of the DC Gonzaga Classic.
I think if they get the ball to Josh Hart, he's going to go one place. He's going to drive right to the paint. That's where he's going to go. He's not going to step back. He's going to go right to the paint and try to pick up a foul.
All right. Comes Charlie Jones inbounding the ball for the Gales. Over to Adams, the ball handler, and back to Jones. Hart's down under the paint, guarding Duran. And the Quakers are back in the man-to-man. That's going to be a foul on Reynolds, sending Phil Booth to the line.
I think that was part of the plan. They have to get the clock stopped, try to get another possession back, rather than let let the Gales use all of the shot clock.
Big free throws coming in. He can make this a 2-possession game by hitting the first one. And he does. Clutch free throw shooting by Phil Booth for the Gales. 6'4" junior guard. Now can make it a 5-point lead. Jim's practically silent. He does make it a 5-point lead. Hart inbounds the ball. Pretty soon it's going to come back to Hart, and he does get it as he crosses the line. Josh Hart, 48 seconds on the clock. He will drive. He'll be double teamed when he does. That was McGloin missing on the three-pointer. Out of bounds. Off of the Mount St. Joseph Gales, so that'll be Hart inbounding for the Quakers. McGloin at the top of the key. New shot clock. McGloin with a jump off the back. That's Monheim with the rebound, and he's fouled on the way up. He'll go to the line shooting 2. He can make it a 1-possession game if he hits both of these free throws. Aiden Monheim at the line, shooting 2. He nicely clangs it off the back and down in through the hoop. Good roll. That's a shooter's roll.
Need this shot too.
Needs the second one to make it a 3-point game. Perfect. It's a 3-point ball game. See the pressure coming in. Is fouling helping here with the Quakers?
They did it the last time. They're
not fouling right off the bat. If they're fouling, they're going to take their time. Nick Reynolds. They get it across the line. That's Adams. Now it looks like into Duran. Back to Adams. Adams across court to Duran. He's fouled by Hillman. So they'll send Duran to the line.
Quakers foul 23, Matt Hillman, his first. Shooting for the Gales 33, Kyle Doran, 2 shots.
Kyle Doran going to the line, shooting 2. Here in the bonus. Comley sinks it. Good free throw shooting by the Gales. That puts them back to a 4-point lead. That they needed. Got to be impressed with the young man going up there and calmly sinking that free throw.
Well, I think that Mount St. Joseph, they've been all through the tournament. They've been just really remarkable at the line like that.
And that's a 5-point lead. That's a tough one. 19 seconds to go. Clock was a little late started. That's Josh Hart bringing it in all the way and muscles it in and one. And if you're Pat Clatchy, you're saying, don't foul him. If he's going to score, don't foul him, because now he has a chance to make it a 2-point ball game. All right, Josh Hart scoring more than half of his team's points up to the line. Number 3 with a chance to convert this to a 3-point play and bring his team to within 2. He doesn't. Nope, off. It went down and in and out. And that's McGloin on the foul. McGloin also, coming up gimpy on that right leg. Maybe just a Charlie horse or something.
3-point lead. This is good. If the Gales hit, and Duran's back at the line again too. So if he hits these,
it's tough.
It's
doable, but it's tough. And it's a 2-point trip, and he makes the first. 2-shot trip. He's got a 3-point lead. This is a money shot here. He can make it a 2-possession game. And in and out. Josh Hart with the rebound. He's got to take a 3. That's McGloin. Over to Hillman. Hillman can hit off the front of the iron. Basketball tipped by Jones. Out of bounds. That's going to be Quaker ball.
Looks like we got
with 0.6 seconds left. That was a very smart tip, very canny play by Charlie Jones. 0.6 seconds left to go. And a 4-point lead. I'd say this one's wrapping up.
I give
great performance.
Got to give the Gales
by
credit.
both teams, and Josh Hart in a losing effort, really lighting it up and showing the kind of play he's going to bring to Villanova at the next level. The Gales, more balanced attack, and definitely cashing in on free throws at the end of the game. They were mostly money from the line.
That's what did it. Free throw shooting towards the end of the game, and the Gales earned this victory. Some excellent free throw shooting.
All right, we got 0.6 of a tick on the clock. And the Gales are celebrating over there on the sideline.
Once again, John, it was good working with you.
Good working with you, Dan.
And we'll be back probably next year.
Yes. Pass in, turn and shoot. Not off before the buzzer. Banks it in, but no good. It'll be waved off by the official. And that game ends 59-55. Smart play by Pat Clatchy saying don't foul. What you don't want is a three-point shot and a foul. So he just kept his players down at the other end before, so it was impossible.
Just a well-played game all the way around. It brings the curtain down on the 24th annual Gonzaga Classic, and we'll